From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and welcome to our broadcast this evening. Our top story, members from Borough Assembly held a meeting last night to discuss issues such as firearms at work, rezoning, as well as many others.
Now, the meeting lasted several hours and covered the issues as well as public comment. Last evening, the Fairbanks North Star Borough Assembly met to hear public comment and vote on proposals that would affect interior residents. The hot topic was an ordinance that would allow borough employees to carry firearms at work. At nearly 11 o'clock, and after much discussion and public comment, the Borough Assembly voted down the proposal 6-2. Lance Roberts, who introduced the ordinance, said his main concern was safety.
There's been a lot of incidences over the U.S. in the last 6 months, year, and past years here, where assailants have come into these gun-free zones and done damage. It's one of the least safe places to be in America, is in a gun-free zone. And so I realized that the best protection is people being able to protect themselves. And so I just wanted to enable the borough employees to be able to do that.
Another hot topic that was discussed was the issue of natural gas in the interior. Members from the Lowell Group spoke during public testimony.
But later July, to me, sir, is I would rather see it faster. I mean, time is of the essence. That's all I'm saying.
The IGU has been funded with $300,000 from the borough, the state, and they have a competing bid at the RCA with the local utility.
Lastly, an ordinance to rezone nearly 277 acres of the tax lot 2800 had many residents up in arms. The public felt it was a danger to put homes or a school in the area due to hazardous materials and waste dumped at the site. The borough, however, stated that a soil sample as well as research has been performed in the area to check for these issues. Stephanie Woodard, News Center 11.
3 teenagers have been charged with breaking into a rural Fairbanks school 2 months ago. 2 18-year-olds, Mason Silas Bizarro and Wesley Travis Phillips, are charged with burglary, theft, and criminal mischief at Two Rivers Elementary School on May 26th. The case of a 14-year-old is being handled in juvenile court. Alaska State Troopers say they stole $7,000 in electronics and caused $10,000 in damage to the school off Mile 18 Chena Springs Road northeast of Fairbanks. Video of the break-in from a security camera was posted online. Charging documents say the mother of the 14-year-old called troopers saying her son was involved. The 18-year-olds were summoned to appear in court this morning.
Fire officials as of Friday morning say the 84,000-acre Stewart Creek Fire number 2 is about 28% contained, but they also warned the upcoming days of warm weather in the forecast will be the major test of containment work done by crews fighting the fire. News Center 11's Daryl Lewis traveled back to the Pleasant Valley area late Thursday for an update on the fire.
Thanks. Just days after evacuations, grim news and such, the attitude in the Two Rivers Pleasant Valley area on Thursday, much different, much more jovial.
Spent some time in the air today, taking a look and seeing what we had all the way around the fire, and primarily I knew I was going to meet all you people, and I knew you were going to be asking some questions, so I said,
Another meeting at Pleasant Valley Community Center on Thursday evening to get updates on Stewart Creek Fire number 2. Those in attendance, unlike Saturday evening, this time easily able to find a seat or a place to stand. And unlike last Saturday, some good-natured ribbing aimed at the alleged culprit of the mishap, the Army.
We are confident that if it turns out to be their fault, they will own up to it. So we also watch over to make sure this investigation that we've heard about was done fairly accurately, and we would have faith in whatever conclusion they come to.
And compliments towards the local hospitality.
You guys, the community's really stepped up and support each other, and folks like Becky and her incredible generosity to the firefighters. And Diana's got the best pizza in Pleasant Valley, okay, and all of Fairbanks, for sure. It's really good stuff. So.
Now with the fire about 25% contained, officials breathing easier.
and when I say 25%, that's where we go. It's not leaving here. You know, we have high confidence that this area is contained.
Well, I'm more confident now. Things have calmed down a lot, and they got a handle on it. We actually are bringing in the process of bringing our animals back today. we had taken them to the fairgrounds. So.
Saturday's meeting was, I thought, extremely well behaved generally, but very serious. This meeting definitely was a little looser and a little friendlier.
But readily admitting with warmer temperatures coming, not out of the woods by any means.
2 days, 3 days from now, it's going to get warmer and drier. You've probably seen that in the commercial weather. It's like 80 degrees, 20% relative humidity and all that. That's the test. We got to test it.
Well, when we come back, petitioners say they have enough signatures to get an oil tax question on the ballot.
Also, everything you ever wanted to know about growing potatoes. That's our garden report. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. At this week's Chamber of Commerce meeting, a group of lawmakers talked about a measure that passed the legislature, giving oil companies tax incentives to explore and produce here. That panel, made up of Interior Republicans, said that since House Bill 21's passage, several oil companies have been reinvesting back into the state. The panel believes this could be in danger if the petition now circulating results in the bill being recalled. But those pushing the petition say it does have enough signatures to get on the ballot. They call HB 21 a state giveaway to oil companies.
That on the international oil tax chart, we're well below what other nations are charging, well below. So these folks are professional criers of crocodile tears. They get as much as they can for as little as possible, and that's a corporation's job. In theory, however, our legislators' job is to stand between us and them and negotiate on our behalf, as opposed to giving them our resources at bargain basement fire sale prices.
At 5 p.m. this afternoon, the gates open to the public for the annual Midnight Sun Intertribal Powwow taking place behind the Carlson Center. The event is organized exclusively to bring together Alaska Natives, American Indians, and First Nations people of Canada. The gathering is intended to honor elders and children and educate the public on the various cultures and customs. The event began in 2000 and since then has grown in popularity, such that the Native tribes from across the nation have traveled to Fairbanks to show their solidarity to the gathering.
According to the census, there are 500 plus tribes in the United States, so there's a possibility there's somebody here at this event that will represent each one of those tribes. In my own family, I represent 7, and I'm enrolled to the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation in Northern Oregon, and I'm also a descendant of the Chugach of Old Chiniga Village in Alaska.
It wasn't your imagination. A small earthquake shook central interior Alaska just before midnight on Thursday. The quake's magnitude was 3.3, according to the Alaska Earthquake Information Center at the University of Alaska Fairbanks Geophysical Institute. It struck at 11:59 p.m. The quake's epicenter was in the middle of the Minto Flats, about 36 miles northwest of Fairbanks. The quake was felt as several seconds of shaking in the Goldstream Valley area, just west of Fairbanks.
One of the easiest crops to grow in Alaska are potatoes. Tonight in our garden report, we'll see exactly what steps you need to make to ensure a good crop.
Hi, I'm Michelle Hebert from the University of Alaska with your weekly garden tip. Well, most Alaskans who garden like to grow potatoes. They're very easy to grow and have very few pests. But there are some things you should be doing to make sure you have good production. And one of the most important things is keeping the potatoes from turning green. When sunlight reaches developing potatoes, they'll turn green and actually produce a poison. So you want to make sure that you hill the potatoes. Well, hilling potatoes is just like it sounds. You want to create a hill around the base of the plant, covering at least 6 inches of the stem, and make it like a hill so that you cover the soil around the base of the plant as well. Now, there's several ways you can hill. You can use straw to hill. You can use grass clippings or leaves. Or if you have plenty of dirt, you can just go ahead and take the dirt that's next to the plant and rake it up. Now, you don't have to be too careful about this. Just hold on to the top of the plant or just rake towards the plant. And you don't even have to tap it down. And then the sunlight won't get to those potatoes. Now, about this time of year, you may also notice that some of your potatoes are flowering. And flowers actually take nutrients away from the developing potatoes. So as those flowers start developing, go ahead and pinch them and pull them off. This has been Michelle A. Baer with your weekly garden tip. Please join us next week when we'll be going back to your lawn and checking in how it is and giving you some tips for making it beautiful going into that fall season.
Gardening tips brought to you by Fairbanks Stump Grinders.
Transitioning now from hot potato to hot sports, coming into a hot weekend. Joe Cook.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot weekend, but before we do that, we're going to go out to North Pole Speedway in North Pole tonight as racers continue to win from last night's race. And speaking of winning, your Gold Panthers got another victory, and you'll see the deepest home run of the season in our highlights. I mean,
way gone.
Bye.
Out of there.
Babe Ruth status. All of that and more coming up. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you for this Friday evening. And it's looking like another great weekend for Interior Sports. Last evening at the North Pole Speedway, a few racers can look forward to a good weekend because they finished with drivable cars. One of those racers is Justin Salmons, the leader this season for the Bandos class. Salmons was second to Jessica King in the first heat, but got first in the second heat. So a tiebreaker, if you will, in the main event, and Salmons caught King with a beautiful move to the inside to take the lead, and the lead he would not relinquish, winning the Bandos main event. On to the Legends class, where Dave Baling continues his dominance. Al Tradle, nearing 60 years old, the savvy veteran was on Baling's tail the entire main event. Then a collision late in the race between Rod Harker and Daniel Sladen will bring out a caution. They had some messed up fenders, but were okay for the most part. At the restart, Baling gets the edge, and he will go on to win the main event after coming in second in the two heats. I talked to Tradle about the close race and if anyone can catch Baling.
Just a close race again. He had that edge coming out of the corner. I worked on a few things. I could say carburation and some other things, but it helped some, but it didn't get me enough. He still had a half a length on me. And it's a young man's sport, I can say that again. It's going to be a wreck. That's the only thing that's going to happen, and he won't be able to get the car fixed. And hopefully we missed the wreck and we can get out there, because that's how we lost and won championships in the past.
Now we go to the leaderboards for the Bandos and Legends. Justin Salmons is still on top of the class for Bandos. Stephen Hunter continues to finish races, but a win or two would be huge for him. He's sitting 67 points back. Parsik, King, and Todd complete the top five. Dave Baling is the leader of the Legends. Al Tradle is second at 87 points back. Daniel Sladen and the Codys round out the top five. There are 7 races left and 1 dirt day at the Mitchell Raceway for the Legends and Bandos. July 18th is the national qualifier. And last night at Groudon Memorial Park, your Alaska Gold Panthers continued their winning ways against the Chugiak Chinooks. It's been a habit lately. The Gold Panthers do their damage early and then close it out. And talk about setting the tone. Bottom of the first, and David Edwards just smashes his second home run of the year, courtesy of Devin Staten. It cleared 2nd Avenue and landed by the Fairbanks Curling Club parking lot. The Panthers treated the bottom of the second like they trailed in the bottom of the ninth. 4 runs were scored with 2 outs left on 3 doubles and a single. Alaska generated 10 hits for the game. David Fletcher and Casey Munoz followed Edwards' lead. Both had 2 hits, an RBI, and scored a run. Starter Drew Matrician and pitcher Cody Moffitt scattered 3 hits. Moffitt had 6 Ks. Alaska wins 5-1, sweeping 3 home games against the Chinooks. The Gold Panthers have a 13-6 ABL record and now have a game-and-a-half lead for first place. Tonight at 7 p.m., they host the 4th place Anchorage Glacier Pilots for a 4-game series that will conclude on Sunday. Tomorrow's matchup is a doubleheader starting at 2. And UAA released a 49-page report about the 2011 incident in which then hockey head coach Dave Shayak struck Nick Haddad in practice. A UAA spokesperson said that the incident should have been reported to campus police. The fallout from the incident, which was made public in May, led to the dismissal of Shayak and athletic director Steve Cobb. The university is currently searching for a new athletic director. Along with a 6-member committee, UAA has hired Eastman and Bodine, one of the top search firms for college athletics in the country, to find a new AD. There will also be a public forum on the 24th. They hope to have a new AD by early fall. And this weekend will be a weekend for running. Saturday morning at Pioneer Park at 10 a.m. will be the run of the Valkyries. The 8K race is sponsored by Opera Fairbanks and First National Bank of Alaska. This is the 4th Flint Hills Cup event race. There will also be prizes and a costume contest. Also on Saturday is the Sourdough Triathlon, which starts at 10 a.m. at 31 Miles Steese Highway. That will be an endurance test with a 1.2-mile swim, 56-mile bike course, and a 13.1 run. Then on Sunday at 10 a.m. is known as the toughest short distance race in the interior, the 13th annual Esther Dome Ass Kicker. This is the 4th event in the trail series and is a 6.7 mile race at the Esther Gold Camp. And that's it for sports tonight. But guess what? I'll be back here tomorrow filling in for the big man Daryl Lewis on the only Saturday newscast in the interior. So tune in for that. But thanks for rocking with me for a little while tonight. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next. And we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back in. If this was a day to play hooky, this was the perfect day to play hooky because the sunshine was just gorgeous out there. Temperatures close to 80 degrees, and we're looking at this to continue in through the weekend. Great weekend setting up. I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Our photograph tonight, this one is a young bull moose, was captured by Debbie Dickman. As you can see there, he's getting ready to move on and become a bigger prize for somebody later on down the years. But again, thanks to Debbie for that photograph. If you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. What's going on out the airport? Not quite 80 degrees, 79. That's our high for the day. Low last night, 51. Record high about 89 degrees in 1940. 33, the record low in 1922. The sunrise and sunset, 20 hours and 26 minutes of daylight. That's a loss of 6 more minutes from yesterday. Our satellite picture, you can see what's going on. High pressure really setting up shop and keeping all the big moisture pockets way off to the west and the east, even down to the south. We call this a big bubble of high pressure, and that's going to continue through the weekend the way it looks right now. What's going on across the rest of the state? Clouds over southeast Alaska, lots of sunshine over the Gulf of Alaska. Along the Aleutian chain, a few clouds around Cold Bay, more sunshine up and down the west coast and even around Barrow, and also sunshine at Fort Yukon, 70 degrees. Lower 48 weather, again, we're talking about hot temperatures, not quite as hot as it was yesterday, 95 degrees in Denver, but still widespread thunderstorms over the eastern half of the country and starting to warm back up over the southwest. On the satellite and radar, you can see why they're having showers and thunderstorms. Again, moisture just will not cut off here. They've had a lot of flooding going on in southern parts of Alabama. Another storm system working its way across the Rockies, helping to develop more strong thunderstorm activity. But the key word for tomorrow is hot temperatures sizzling across much of the nation's midsection. Maybe some showers and thunderstorms over to the southwest part of the country. And the jet stream way up to the north all the way through early next week. And that means just more hot air coming up from the south and more humidity across the eastern half of the country. So not much change in their weather pattern. Well, back to our weather pattern for tomorrow in the northern sections. Mostly sunny skies for Barrow. Decreasing clouds for Nome and partly sunny skies with some smoke for the Fort Yukon area. Here in the interior, we'll see mostly sunny skies with areas of smoke mainly to the east of the Fairbanks area, but mostly sunny skies expected in Healy. Over southeast Alaska, yes, more showers expected there for both Juneau and Ketchikan. While out to the southwest, a mixed bag of weather, scattered showers for Colby, mostly cloudy for Kodiak, but mostly sunny skies for Bethel. And over the south central regions, it looks pretty good too. Mostly sunny skies for Anchorage and Homer, and continued sunny for Valdez. So nice weather over the south central areas this weekend. Here's our forecast for the remainder of the night. 52 degrees, clear skies, a little warmer than last night, and again some snow mainly to the east of the Fairbanks area. Tomorrow's forecast, 82 degrees, lots of sunshine. Still some areas of areas of smoke to watch out for, mainly to the east of the Fairbanks area. Here's your forecast for the next 5 days. You can see here, looking at temperatures in the 80s and then dropping down to the low to mid 70s on the latter part of the 5-day outlook there. Maybe some showers possibly by next Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday. Otherwise, looking at overnight lows in the mid 50s each day, but the weekend looks incredibly beautiful, just really nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's for mid-July, that's on average perfect weekend, right?
It's even warmer than it should be.
Oh, very
Yeah,
good.
it's
Very
nice.
good. Okay. All
Cool.
right. Got plans?
Yeah, be covering a lot of sports events, you know, filling in for D. Lou. So I'll be everywhere. You never know when you're going to catch me.
Gotcha. All right.
All over the place, Joe, cooking it up.
All right, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the murder trial of George Zimmerman goes to the jury. That's next with Brian Williams.
If you have a question or comment about our news, you can call the newsroom at 458-1830.
And all weekend long, they're going to be having the powwow out there behind the Carlson Center. We're going to leave you some of the video of that they were setting up today. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you back here at 11.